Hey everybody, so me and my lovely wife here participated in a controversial event where we brought our AR-15s to a recommitment ceremony at our church located in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. So there was a lot of news coverage about this because of the recent Parkland, Florida shooting which happened 2 weeks before the event. And so a lot of news media came, there's Channel 16, BBC came, lots of different ones, Fox News came, and even the illustrious Young Turks honored us with a video of their very own. So let's see what they have to say.
One church in Pennsylvania wanted to celebrate AR-15s in this incredibly tumultuous time in America in regard to gun violence.
Okay, first up, we're not celebrating, blessing, or worshiping AR-15. Why?
It's crazy talk. You're crazy, Marge.
All it is an encouragement to show that we will love God, love our neighbors by protecting them with our lives.
And so people showed up to renew their vows, and they were all, not all, but most were carrying these weapons.
So actually, only about 100 of the 600 people that were there were actually carrying AR-15s, brought AR-15s to the church. Most of them were international guests from Korea, Japan, and even Europe that couldn't actually acquire AR-15s because of the strict gun laws in their country.
Wearing bullet crowns and essentially making the argument that guns or weapons like AR-15s have been given to the people by God, and taking them away goes against their religious beliefs.
Okay, so it's not against just our religious beliefs, it's against our constitutional rights.
The Associated Press reported on this. They wrote that crown-wearing worshipers clutching AR-15s drank holy wine and exchanged or renewed wedding vows in a commitment ceremony at this Pennsylvania church, prompting a nearby school to cancel classes. That school was actually concerned about the safety of the students. They were worried. The students were scared.
None of the kids are on record saying that they were scared. So it wasn't like,
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
No, even when our church officials talked with the principal, he said that he was more worried about the media presence than the actual event.
But there were protesters outside of the church.
Wait, stop. There are protesters at the event? Oh yeah, the pickle people.
One of those protesters was a woman who is not in favor of banning guns. In fact, she says that she herself has a gun. However, she says the following: I don't need a freaking assault weapon to defend myself.
The thing I'd like to clarify is this term assault weapons. None of those weapons at church were assault weapons. If we look at the Webster Dictionary definition of assault, that means to do physical harm to somebody, and none of those weapons have actually been used to physically harm somebody, so in essence it's not an assault weapon.
I like that they say no, they're not loaded. Dude, the bullets are on your head. I just saw the pictures.
That's a good point.
And here it is, everybody. Here's the notorious bullet crown. So Shank Uger likes to make the point that we could just take these bullets off the crown and actually fire them in our rifles if we wanted to. But I will show you quickly that that is not the case. So here's a standard AR-15 round. This is a 5.56 round. And you can see in the bottom here it has this little inner circle. That's called the primer. That's what actually caused the initial spark to light the powder that's held inside this casing. So here's the bullet my father used to make the crown. As you can see, there's a bit of a difference because there's no longer a primer. So this bullet was already fired through a rifle. So after it's been shot, it comes out looking something like this, where you can see it's been blackened, and if you look here, the primer has been dented in. What my father does is he takes out this primer, puts in a new bullet without any powder inside the casing, polishes up, and just drills those holes in the side. So this bullet could actually never be fired from a rifle ever again.
Do you trust these lunatics that when they say, oh no, we didn't load the weapons? This is a wacky church to begin with. They've done a lot of crazy things in the past.
Yeah, a lot of crazy things, like killing children in a womb, lowering the age of consent, silencing opposing views, and disarming rape victims. Oh wait, but that's what liberals do.
On top of everything, they're like, okay, we got a great idea. Everybody bring all of your assault weapons. We'll get married or remarried with all this weaponry around.
Nothing spells romance like renewing your vows with AR-15s and bullet crowns.
Yes.
Tiaras are so last year.
Yeah.
And another comment you like to make is like, we're all wearing bullet crowns. So actually there is 3 people wearing bullet crowns out of 600. Me, my dad, and my mother.
And on top of that, we'll drink a lot of wine. What could go wrong? So, just imagine for a second if anyone thought there was a shooting there. I mean, if someone came in and was a hostile actor, everybody's getting killed. Because not only would there be the shooter, but there'd be 100 other people in the room shooting at the person they thought was the shooter. And it'd be a massacre of epic proportions.
So I really do want to emphasize that the guns, they were unloaded, okay?
They say that, I don't believe them at all. They're lunatics. I don't believe them.
Again, none of the guns were loaded. People were able to carry their concealed firearms though if they had the CCW permit. But let's take a look at that situation you just proposed. So say a shooter did come into the building with the intent to kill as many people as they could, right? And so people who did have firearms decided to shoot back. For you, it might just seem like, oh, we just point the gun everywhere, we just shoot everywhere, we just like... No, it's not like that. Every time you train firearms, you train, keep your finger off the trigger, always point in a safe direction, and always act as if the gun is loaded, okay? So you're already trained in yourself not to shoot blindly. So let's say like none of us had weapons, and the guy just came in and wanted to shoot up the place, right? So what do? We call 911, and then wait 5 minutes for them to come. And even if 5 minutes happen, how many shots can you get off to kill people? Whereas someone who's right there in the moment can react to the first second to someone as a potential threat.
They tell you, no, don't worry, in our cult, when we bring all the weapons, we generally don't load them. You'll excuse me if I don't believe you. Besides which, as I said, the bullets are right around your freaking head.
One of the things that I remember in our Sunday school lessons was that as a Christian, you are not supposed to worship anything other than God. You see what I'm saying? And so in these images, you see these individuals who claim that they're religious and it's, you know, part of their belief system and their values, but they're worshiping a weapon. They're worshiping, you know, an inanimate object.
And finally, let's leave you with this idea. Imagine if there was a mosque in America where they all brought their AR-15s. Now picture Muslim dudes with the little skull cap and stuff and women wearing the hijab, and they're all holding on to the AR-15s and saying, and holding it like this, like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do something with this.
I mean, Jake.
Okay, imagine, forget America, imagine if it was in Afghanistan. They'd be like, oh, look at these barbarians bringing their weapons like this, and then everybody holds it there, even their women wearing that hijab or burqa or whatever, holding these AR-15s. That would be like, let's invade. Like they would have been, look at what they're doing to our women, look at how they are, etc. Let's go invade. Well, I guess we're gonna have to invade Pennsylvania now.
So finally, Shank Uger, the inherent difference between us and Muslims is the fact that our ideology doesn't call for the killing of innocent people. It doesn't require us to put hijabs on our wife because they shouldn't show off how pretty they are to other people. We're just showing that if someone does come to hurt people we love, like my wife, or like our friends or family, for evil intents, that we're ready to bring the same force back to them. We don't want to. I hope that I never would ever have to do any person harm. I hope that I never ever have to pull a trigger at someone. I hope I never even have to even punch someone in the face. But if I have to do that to save my wife's life, I will gladly do that. That is the inherent difference between us and Muslims. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's all we have for today.
And shout out to the Young Turks for their entertaining video. And we hope everyone learned something new today.
And last of all,
God bless.